Night 1 of Week 7 featured a big-time matchup, not the game of the week, just the game of the night, between the Serial Killers and the Firm. The Serial Killers' first real test, and they passed. Barely, but they passed. The Week 7 postgame show presented by Ben J Music. That's you.
That's me.
Hey, Ben, Ryan, Matt, and Ellis. Guys, court won first before the Serial Killers and Firm came out. We had a little upset. Did anyone pick White Magic?
I did not.
I don't think anyone did.
I don't think anyone
So it
did.
was a
No
clean
one did.
sweep of being wrong. But White Magic came back. They were down early. They came back against Sportslook, both one-win teams. One's 1-5, 1-4 coming in. White Magic getting their second win, making some big shots down the stretch. No Tyrell Holmes, though.
Yeah, they're also missing Nick and Steve, too. Yeah, they had kind of a small bench. Totally got outrun there. I think that was the key to White Magic's success. In the third quarter, they outscored them 15-3, and then they just kept up the tempo and really just ultimately took the victory. They were trailing by 10 at the half, White Magic, and yeah, it's great to see them get back-to-back wins since they started the season 0-4 or 5, I think. So it's a good victory, but yeah, they're going to face a tough Serial Killers team next week. So
For sure. Speaking of
We'll
White
see.
Magic, what did they do well to get a win against a Sportslook team that we all thought would be better than this at this point in the season?
Oh, well, I mean, they were hitting their shots. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what it is. Justin Silva had a great breakout performance. He really got the team going. And Steve Buchek, he also did a great job. And some of their bench players really stepped up today. So overall, great performance by White Magic.
Steve is really turning into their rock. He's consistently starting to hit shots, consistently showing up and keeping them in some of these games.
That's been the biggest difference, I think, in the past few weeks has been Buchek's play.
For sure. And Light It Up was without Rosario. Huh?
They were.
So Light It Up and Redemption on court 2, the late game, as we expected. This one went as planned.
Yes.
Redemption by a
mile.
large margin. Again,
pretty much doubled them up.
no Rosario for Light It Up, so it was just all Redemption, right?
Yeah, there was no Mike Rosario, but last week. Oh, sorry, Chris Rosario.
Yep.
Mike Rosario, college basketball player. My fault. But yeah, no Chris Rosario. And last week they only had 3 players score. This week they had at least 5 or 6 of the players score. So it was a more evenly played game from their standpoint. They hit a couple threes, and in the first quarter it was close. I think it was tied at the end of the first at 20, and then Jalen Graham and Christian Terrell just turned it on. Threes, dunks, you name it in transition, they had it. Absolutely dominant performance.
Christian Terrell did an interview today. Check that out on Facebook. His
Stepped
first
outside
one.
the box.
That's what this is all about. But Light It Up, not really sure who they play next, but now they're starting to reel a little bit. They lost to White Magic last week, right? Get clobbered again this week. Anything they can do to...
They just got to hit shots. That's bottom line. They hit a couple open threes today. They had a couple nice dunks, but it was nothing consistent. There was no consistent flow to the offense. It was either something in transition or it was an open shot just off a defensive breakdown. There was nothing. They had no guy they could go to a pick and roll with. They had no guy cutting to the basket. They had no set offense. It was basically just people staring at the ball, waiting to get it, to chuck up a shot or go to the basket and possibly turn it over.
I think it's Jake Zito is his last
Miko.
name. Is it Miko? He did end up having with 24 points and shooting. I think it was 8 for 12 from 3. So
A lot of those was Ty Coward type bucket stuff.
he was left alone in the corner,
Garbage
but
time.
still.
It was.
But a different game. I mean, well, from what you were saying, it sounds like they were missing Chris Rosario. Got to drive the bucket, create offense, hit some shots.
Yes and no, because yeah, he does that, but he also doesn't really pass. So I feel like it wouldn't have made a difference. They just would have had one guy with more points than the other 2 or 3 people combined.
Gotcha. Speaking of passing, no limit without Terrell tonight. A little shocker, and I know
Bigger difference than I would have guessed.
Kev Rivera was questionable playing. He ended up suiting up with the headband.
Yeah.
They squeaked by the Avengers in a game that I think a lot of us thought would, even without Terrell, would have a different ending. The Avengers hung around, talked to them after the game, just hanging around, and they said, we had him. They felt like they had him, and a couple shots were the difference in that one. Was it really all not having Terrell, or did the Avengers shoot well today? Or
It was a combination of not having Terrell, pretty much no effort whatsoever, and Zach Shapiro and Derek Davis were executing well today. Zach Shapiro broke out of his slump. He had 20 points. Derek Davis had 19 and at least 10 rebounds, and they just had no answer for either of them. And John Rulin had what will look like a good defensive game with 7 blocks, but they were pretty lackadaisical on the defensive end. They were really just looking to pat their stats against them, and they let it get away from them pretty easily. And Kevin was not 100%, and it showed. And if he was 100%, he would have had probably 20 and 10 today. And no Terrell. Terrell could have easily gone for 40 today.
Nothing else on that one? Anything else? We expect
about
Terrell
it.
back, but John, I saw Rowan hitting some shots, but very
It was a very
no limit
carefree type game. And after the game, John was talking about how the refs know everyone's against them, and in reality, if they put in a little more effort, they would have won by 20 or 30.
Definitely the better team.
Absolutely.
I think we'd say so. And then to the game we've all been hyping up coming into the night. The Firm and Serial Killers, as I mentioned, Serial Killers passed. Wasn't with an A+, but they passed. They made some plays when they needed it. Mike
C's
Davis,
get degrees.
C's get degrees. Mike Davis showed up, which I know was fun for some of you guys to see. I mean, me and Tyler and a lot of us are kind of, we're used to it,
Same old
unfortunately. But Serial Killers did get that win. The Firm now 3 losses for what we think is a above average team in this league. So what were they not able to do? Like I said, it was tied in the 4th, right? They came back a little bit, but were unable to get that win.
Well, it looked like in the first half the Firm was going for the greatest highlight reel that we've seen this season. A lot of dunks, a lot of three-pointers. And then as the game progressed into the second half, Serial Killer stepped up their defense, and the Firm started missing a lot of easy shots. They started missing passes, some turnovers, and it just led to the Serial Killers more opportunities. As we see, the Serial Killers are a very high-scoring team, allowing them to get the ball and get down the court, sometimes not playing the most defense as much as they should have. Really, I think that's what gave them their loss. Desaru, 22 points, still missed a lot. Same with Martinez, 17 points, but I believe he had a few turnovers, a few sloppy plays here and there. Not hitting the boards, not getting their rebounds. All in all, I think they could have had this win against the Serial Killers. They could have broken this undefeated record, but sloppy play is what lost it for them.
They were definitely in it. A lot of big plays I know that we have on our Snapchat. You'll be seeing in the highlights. For those of you that don't watch the pregame, we're going to do Ryan's favorite game. 3 words, summing up your biggest takeaway from the Monday night.
Not only do I not like this game, but you always spring it on us.
That's true. It is very unplanned. So, your biggest takeaway, 3 words. Pregame shows, 8 o'clock on game nights, live on Facebook. Those are a lot less structured, if you will. But 3 words taking away from tonight. Who wants to start?
I'll go Serial Killers proven.
All right, that is how we do it. Well done. Anyone else?
No limit in effort. They had absolutely no effort today.
No limit in parentheses. No effort, no limit. I like it. You can pass. It's okay.
I want to say something about White
Finally
Magic,
cracked the code
but
to this
they've got a
game.
tough schedule ahead. So I don't know if the
That's
hype
it.
is real.
I mean, like White Magic, tough schedule ahead. That's 3 words.
Tough schedule ahead.
There we go. Anything?
I don't know. Tough loss for the Firm.
That would be 4 words, so that does not count. But if
game
you
is
say it
not
quick,
fun.
that's going to do it for our post-game show presented by this guy. Check out his music; it's average. We'll be back tomorrow, which is going to be today when you're watching this, Tuesday at 8 o'clock, live on Facebook with our pregame show. We'll be joined by these guys. Tyler might even be on tomorrow. I doubt it.
Unlikely.
Some big games tomorrow.
Won't let 'em
Snapchat, thelegacyleagues.com is our website. You guys know the Snapchat, at legacy_leagues. Ellis, Matt, Ryan, Ben, Joey. We will see you Tuesday night for the game of the week and a little rivalry game, Run TMC Stranger Danger. Stay tuned.